Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of like Rocky. Except I don't have the background music to go with it. Hey, everybody, what's going on? We're back. It's late. I'm sure most of you are asleep. What the hell am I even doing here? I don't know. Stop yelling at me. If you don't see it now, you'll see it later. You know? There. So, I hope all of you are doing well. It's not been a long time since I left you. I don't say the words dope and beat together, so I'm not going to finish that song. Right. What the hell? Let's do a refresh on this motherfucker right here, and we'll jump back into it. Oh, that's cool. Whose video is that? Is that Warhogs? Alternative media versus AI slop. How can we stop the AI slop? I might be interested in looking at that. That's cool. I am the only one. I am Highlander over here. Ah, look at that. There can be only one. Unless there's more. Then there could be additional. I don't make the rules. All right, let's see. Open up a new tab. We were out at the Friday Night Munchies market. It was fun. I got the Dubai chocolate thingy with the strawberries for the kids. We had one of our daughter's friends with us. And got some other stuff because, that's just what we do. It was a good time. And we are going to get started here in just a moment. I want to first... Whoa, hold on. Chill out. Whoa. You gotta be careful with these little buttons here. You gotta make sure that you don't you turn them off. Because then next time you jump into that scene, it just starts. It startles you. It's like, whoa, what's that shit? Okay. Right there. So, I don't know if you know this. Maybe I'll read the... can I do that? Can I read the email? I guess. Let's try it. Let's do it. I mean, I can read. So, I suppose I could probably easily read the email if I can read, right? Let's see. Is it in this one? Jesus, Jones and Mary. Message. Okay. So, it be saying, I'm going to read it. Hi, this is... no, I'm reading. I don't get confused. I am Dan Christos of the Ballbusters broadcast. Okay. But when I read this, I'm reading a message from the person I'm about to say hi. My name is hi. Hi, this is Dave Gahari. Again, don't get confused. I wrote a few weeks ago regarding FTJ Media's future, explaining that we will become a subscriber-only platform where access to videos are only available to users who sign up for the FTJ Pro for $5 or $50 a year. $5 a month, bro. FTJmedia.com. You go in thing, there's a little button that says Go Pro. You click it, you hit the $5, you're boom, done. Then you are in the elite VIP club. You can brag about it to your friends on Kick or wherever else you hang out, those Twitters and things, the schoolyard, wherever you are. Just be like, yo, I'm a VIP. I'm a pro, as a matter of fact. See what happens. You'll probably get a date. Although many signed up, we did not get the subscriptions we had wished for. Not yet. Today's the 29th. Towards the end of it. So we got 31. Make it. But we were blessed. That allows, with an unsolicited donation that allows us to keep going for a bit as a subscriber-only platform beginning on June 1st. So it'll be subscriber-only in 2 days. So if you're a login user of FTJ right now, and you're not a pro member, That is why we fail. Anyway, just click the button and then you'll be still there. And then all those riffraff will have to pay $5 if they want to talk poopy at us. What that means is, while you will see the site as it appears now, when clicking to access a video, you will be required to join FTJ Pro, which allows access to all videos on the site, as well as giving you the ability to upload videos and live stream if you wish. You guys, this is a very content creator friendly platform as it is, and you should become one of us. Give it a shot. You know what they say? It hurts the first time? Something like that? Anyway. Behind the scenes, we are working on and will soon unveil. I should have been a WWF wrestler. FTJ Media 2.0. That's 1.0 more than the original. So you know it's got to be doubly good. With a leaner, meaner, much less buggy and clunky streamlined interface. As we approach the launch date, my dog will bark because Rebecca's home. We will keep you all posted. Until then, if you appreciate FTJ Media, it's time to sign up for FTJ Pro, which you can do here. Which you can do here. And then there's a link. But if you decide you're one of those people, FTJ is now worth $5 a month, then don't let the door hit you. No, sorry. It says, then we thank you for visiting and look forward to your return. You'll be back, is what Dave just said there. He's like, yeah, you're going to snub us now? You'll be back. You'll be back. You don't know how good you had it. Thanks for reading. Dave Gahari. And then he has his email address. Okay. All right. Everybody good? Cool. All right. I feel better now. I hope you do too. Oops. I almost said stop streaming. All right. Anyway. So, as the noise in the other room has indicated, I want to go say hello to my family. Make sure they don't need anything from me before I get it too deep into this. But we're going to pick up where we left off. Oh, and by the way, here's that Luminary Lighthouse. The thing that we've been getting videos from. Oh, really? That guy's in there. Anyway, Luminary Lighthouse. This is the YouTube channel. But his shorts are what not shorts as in like his underwear, but like his short videos are what we've been watching. Look at the size and look at the shapes and look at the things that we used to have. Why did we regress into dog poopy? I ask you. Why don't we get to have pretty things? And what the hell happened that we regressed so terribly? You know, it's like, okay. Right now, in 2026, allegedly, not that numbers matter or time even at all, but in this day and age, there's still people out there running around in loincloths, throwing spears at each other and eating each other's brains, and being, mauled by jackals and hyenas, I guess. So it's possible that a higher society can exist at the same time a less developed people can also exist. We would never consider ourselves to be somewhere in the middle, right? We're not exactly the highest of the high, and whenever we come up with innovations, they just steal them from us and say it's a matter of national security, or they destroy your patent and they kill you or something, and you have a convenient heart attack, or you get gunned down just because, one of those things. Or you just get impoverished and put into obscurity like Tesla. So wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? Because that would make us have to reevaluate everything we think about ourselves, everything we think about this realm, if we're not the ones on top. Like, we think that, and we're, of course, with people like Trump and things like that, like world leaders and whatnot, what we think of ourselves is we're pretty arrogant, pretty. Whoa! I wasn't trying to do that. Pretty obnoxious. That scared the fuck out of me. I was just trying to dust them off. And imagine if we were just, well, I mean, we're not even the billionaires here, right? But it has nothing to do with, technological advancement. Most people share the same access to that which they tell us is the innovations. We know about them, at least, where we have a concept of them. We're immersed in a society that's run somewhat technical. But if there's a much higher level that has never been, let's say, interrupted, because I am going to say, I don't think anybody could argue with this if they look at the history. The mainstream narrative is that mankind is on a linear trajectory. There's the old, and there's the 200,000 years ago thing, and then there's, the progress in between, and the stone tools, and this, and oh, look, we made fire, and oh, whoa, metallurgy, yay. And then, cell phones, flock cameras, Palantir, oh my. I would say we're more cyclical, and the evidence is definitely in the architecture and even the building material. And I would say that the reason why we've regressed is mostly probably deliberate. It's a lot easier to erase things that are disposable and flimsy. If you need to give the impression to the people who live on the surface that there was nothing before them, and certainly not something that was more advanced than they are, it's a whole lot easier to wipe the slate clean if the stuff is made out of sticks and freaking drywall than if it was made out of solid stone and just kind of an inconvenience if you're trying to remove it off the surface, right? These are those big, heavy decorations inside the fish tank. They're harder to get out of there. So I think what we're seeing in these old pictures of America, these older houses, it's an indicator that there was something, and there is maybe still. And I don't even know if the controllers possess all of it. They may have inherited something and been intimidated by the evidence of a pre-existing higher society. I'm not saying I understand what happened to them or what's going on there. But if they were gone, or if there was a war or battle or a cataclysm or whatnot, it seems like the shit turds moved in on an opportune moment, assumed the role of superiority over others, and started controlling our perception and our perspective, both our perception of reality, so as to make us subservient to them. Now, they may have had a hand in the destruction of the other people, or maybe they found a very convenient, semi-empty new world with all kinds of interesting architecture and then a bunch of overgrowth. And maybe even some of the stuff was buried as if soot, sand, or dirt and mud, if you want to call it that, swept over it. And I mean, there's things you could do with, if there was old dams and you broke them on purpose, you could wipe out people easily like that. And it is very common. It's another one of those little tells that they don't want you to know things, is they can flood shit and make lakes in places that weren't lakes before. Let's say they were mining holes, strip mining, and then they flooded them because they didn't want people to see these old, potentially abandoned or had to be abandoned because something happened, quarries and things like that. And then all of a sudden, that there's even indications that there was maps before that didn't have the Great Lakes, and then all of a sudden there's Great Lakes. I'm not going to get too crazy in the sticks here about like what exactly is what, but I do find a lot of this stuff very fun and interesting to think about, but also maybe important in the sense not only of our own identity, of who we are, because we might be the remnants of those people that were, I don't know, brushed aside, if you will, or seemingly missing, because you would think with what they had, they would be able to defend themselves from a lesser advanced people. But if they didn't, but if they had already abandoned brutality and what do you call it, like savagery, if you will, only to find it come to them again, they may not have had the. They might have been taken by surprise. What the fuck? Shut. Hold on, dude. I'm pausing it. What the fuck? My phone just started talking. Sorry. That was a little bit irritating there. So I don't know what happened, and maybe these people are underground. Maybe they're still waiting out something that happened on the surface, and they just haven't resurfaced yet. Or maybe there's been some other shenanigans going on. But to me, it seems like there's also evidence that this society was pretty good to the majority of the inhabitants, and that there was a good time, a different yuga. Like I don't know how we quickly slipped into the Kali Yuga as we are in right now, but it seems like there was a time of prosperity and teamwork, community. And it just makes me think, in my head, I think this is how the Scythians used to behave. They would bury stuff that they didn't want. And a lot of times it was like gold. They would make jewelry out of gold. They didn't really have this desire. Some of them did. Some of them actually went all full on Khazarian because they wanted to be engaged in the marketplace and merchants. But the core of the tribes, they didn't get into that. They had a sword and a cup, and they were one giant extended family unit. That's how it was one big community. They were a nation unto themselves, each and every one of them, and they treated their defeated foes fairly and with honor and dignity. After which would, a battle's a battle. It's going to be brutal. There's going to be limbs flying because they're using axes and swords and shit. But when the blood and mud settled, they were good. They were fair. And as long as you weren't going to be a shithead, they would, they would consider rehabilitate you into society. As long as you were going to be a good dude or dudette, you're still welcome. And they didn't hold grudges like that. And that might have also been a weakness of theirs because they were big on nobility. Same thing with the Goths / Aryans. They held themselves to a higher standard as leaders and warriors and protectors, the shields, guardians. So once you were under their care or under their protection, it wasn't like the mob where they start shit in your store and then they say, we can protect you from that. You can just pay us more than the guy who wants you out of business. They not like that. Not like extortionists. But the polar opposite of that would be what we consider the Oives. And it's just a shame to think that there's already been a defeat and a victory on their side. Maybe they're just assuming things. Maybe there's just like a window in time. Or maybe they're manipulating that because of the whole Saturn Chronos thing. Maybe they're manipulating the timeline. Who knows? who knows anymore? It gets into metaphysical awfully quick when you start thinking about this stuff. Because just hold on, OBS reconnected. So I think we just lost something there. Let me double check. I don't know why OBS does that. Sometimes it just said, "Hey, fuck you, Dan," and it just dropped. Let's see what's going on here. Are we still on? Thinking about this stuff because just simply because they're just all right. I don't want to hear myself. I just want to see if we're still thinking about this stuff because somebody just throw something in the chat if you're on Rumble. Tell me if we're still there. I think if I probably got disconnected from FTJ. That's some gay shit. Hold on. I'm gonna refresh and see what happens. Play it. No, I think I'm dead. I'm DIW. You fucking serious? No, let's try again. Dude, what the hell's up with OBS just crashing like that? Are you effing kidding me? I can't even play it. Hold on. What a freaking interruption. Dude, why did that happen? Fucking Elijah, I'm in here, you know? Like, stop fucking screaming. No, I'm off. I'm completely disconnected. What the fuck? Trying again. I got disconnected. You fucking serious? Yep, nope, I'm not. All right, so we're going to start this all over again because I just got fucked. I'm going to restart my computer. This is absolute bullshit. Why the hell did that happen? All right, well, whatever. This will just be a small part, then I'll come back again. I don't understand why that happened.